I bet you can barely see me. Thank you for watching today's no painting video. I'm going to tell you and show you my HPI Baja. My HPI Baja started out as an HPI Baja SS. May sound like a weird name, but it means nothing else than Super Sport, which means that this is the kit version. I got this car back in 2008. HPI Baja has been around since 2005. They released what I thought was an ugly purple RTR, and when they released all those orange upgrade parts and eventually the kit, that's when it caught my interest. I think there's no other car on the market that has such a big variety in aftermarket support as the HPI Baja, and I will show you a few of the upgrades that I got on mine and also show you a few pictures of how my car evolved over the years. Now, if we start out in the back, one of the first things that you'll notice once you have a look at my HPI Baja is this huge exo cage. This cage is a Kraken true scale class 1 cage. It comes with these nylon panels. I have installed a Thunder Designs wrap. This cage is also going to be one of my next paint projects. So I have an extra set of panels coming up which I will paint up and try to make look as trick as these. Because I really like this wrap. It's shiny, it feels really beefy, and I think that in case I do roll over the truck, nothing will happen to it. Again, I just installed this cage, but I really like the look of it. Along with the cage, I got some optional parts. These are the rear LED holders. I also got the roof rack in which you can install some additional lights, and I got this wheel carrier. On the back of the cage over here I installed my Threshold version 1 resis. These are kind of like an extra volume chamber for your shock absorbers. Let me take these clamps off, take the cage off so we can have a look underneath. One of the things that I spend most money on on my Baja SS is the shock upgrades. Here you got these resis, these extra reservoirs. These are made by a company called Threshold, and they work pretty sophisticated. They got an extra expansion chamber for your shock oil, and then you can adjust the amount of pressure inside the shocks with this screw on the end. How it works is there's a piston on the inside over here with a double O-ring, a spring in between, and then a piston over on the other end. And by turning in this screw you can kind of set a different preload on that spring between those pistons. Other than that, I got these Golden Horizon shock bodies. I got these because they were black anodized straight out of the factory. And the other shock bodies that I had a lot of wear going on the inside because I blew a seal in the bottom, some sand got in and sort of ground out the inside of the shock. I also got some DarkSoul shock shafts installed with some aluminium shock ends. I still need to fill them up, so these have a lot of bounce in them right now just because the shocks are empty. That's also why the preload setting is so weird. These shock adjustment rings are also made by DarkSoul. I'm not sure if you can still get them, but if you do come across them, just purchase them because they're a really nice part, as is all of the DarkSoul stuff. Another DarkSoul part that I got on here is the V2 version drive shaft, the meaty bones as they were once referred to. And I also got the DarkSoul tubes installed along with well, if you don't mind me tooting my own horn, but beep beep, the Hemi boots which do not rotate, some Hemi cuffs over here. And let's see, other than that, over here in the back we got the Turtle Racing top plate, I got a Turtle Racing quick diff, and I got RPM top and bottom arms. The RPM arms are really holding up to the abuse that I've been giving them over the years. Yeah, so they're a good part to get. this shock brace, if you do manage to find one. This one is made by GBE, Gabe Brown Engineering. They make a lot of quality parts. I got a few of them on my truck. Like over here in the back of the engine, I got an aluminium engine mount, which is made by Gabe Brown Engineering. And I also got this pipe that still needs to be fitted. You can see a piece of paper tissue sticking out over here. But let me move the camera around a tiny bit so you can see the center of the truck and what's going on over there. Over here you see the brake setup. This is right behind the spur gear plate, which is also Turtle Racing. These brake pads, they're made by a company called Vertigo. They're carbon. I put one extra brake pad in between over there. This is called a triple brake pad setup. Basically doubles up the contact surface, so your car will stop a whole lot quicker. The discs, of course, they're installed on tooting my own horn again. Beep beep on a HemiStorm Max Hex. The Max Hex is a bit wider than the stock hex, so your brake discs, they will not fall off and get jammed up between the pads. Another few fun parts to show you over here are the enclosed clutch housing. Running a closed setup will make sure that there's no sand entering and wearing out your clutch prematurely. The stock HPI comes with a plastic clutch bell carrier. The plastic is really notorious to get warm and warp and wear out your clutch setup. I'm running a Baja Teflon clutch in here. Has held up really well. Love that clutch. There's also a lot of people running Elcon clutches in their HPIs. Over here you see my MSD ignition coil. It's blue, so I figured that would go with the theme a bit nicer, since my Gabe Brown pipe also comes with this blue coupler. Over here you can tell that the manifold is a bit rusty. That is because I had it hacked up and modified to angle up a tiny bit, so the pipe actually works with the 5T plastics. 5T is a 5 truck. After releasing the 5B, the buggy, HPI also released a truck version for which you get all these additional plastics that I will show you in a bit. Over here on the front of the carb you can see my GBE V-stack. The back and the front of the cylinder are plugged over here because I still need to take this whole setup off, and I'm going to change out the head kit on this particular engine with a 29cc version instead of a 26cc one. This filter is also made by Gabe Brown Engineering, and I've put an extra outwears over it. If you want to protect your engine and make sure that you get a lot of runtime out of your two-stroke engine, these outwear filters are highly recommended. I put them over the pull start and over the air filter. Over here you have a bit of a better look at those 5T plastics. It's like it's almost like an afterthought, you know. They released the car as a buggy at first with this really narrow aluminium chassis, and afterwards you could buy all these plastics or just buy the 5T or the 5SC, and it would have all of this stuff ready installed, rock guards and whatnot. You do need all these plastics to install the Kraken Cage as well, and also to install, for example, a Proline Beetle body that I ran previously to the Kraken. You can also tell that over here this is still a bit of a work in progress going on. I need to modify this exhaust bracket, which is already homemade, and make sure that it goes inward a tiny bit more so I have enough clearance for the GBE Endbleed pipe to clear the Kraken Cage. Over here in the front it's pretty similar to the story in the back. I'm running a turtle top plate, and then I'm running these threshold resis on the front shocks as well, Golden Horizon shock bodies, DarkSoul adjustment rings, blue springs because my truck is quite heavy, RPM top arms and RPM bottom arms. I'm just running a sway bar in the front, not in the back, to have a bit more articulation. I think, but you know, everybody has a different opinion about it. I think with a bit more articulation I get around the bends a tiny bit better and a tiny bit faster, so I like this setup that I got currently. I still need to change out these steering rods. I got some Team Fast Eddy rods laying around that I still need to install. And well, other than that, as I said, 85% done with the rebuild. Got to change out the shock oils front and back, change out the top end for my engine, and after that I'll fire it up and see how she goes. Hope you enjoyed watching this. For me this has been a trip down memory lane. Again, this is one of my first RC loves, sort of. It's my first large-scale RC truck. It has been through many changes throughout the years, many different body styles, many different upgrade parts. I think I got like 7 exhausts laying around for the thing. But you know, all in all, that doesn't matter. If there is one truck that has a huge aftermarket support, it must be this one. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you got any questions, for example, why do you have one white wheel over here and one black wheel over there, shoot those questions in the box below and I will try to answer them. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. There's a lot of RC fun coming up. I'm going to paint up a lot of bodies this winter. I will also paint up a panel kit for this Kraken Cage. So if you want to see how that goes and maybe if I will not succeed doing it, because that's fun to watch as well, then please subscribe. If you want to join my Facebook page, it's HemiStorm Products. There's a link in the description box below. Also, if you want to buy a cool t-shirt, hope to see you around. Take care.